That's fucked up.
You're farting?
That's what it sounded like, he said.
Yeah, that's what it said.
We're live and stuff. Terrific episode. Yeah.
Why do you think I put the plane first in the tweet?
Not working. My
tweet.
Twitter's not working.
Well, Twitter, it doesn't exist anymore. It's technically X, but it's okay.
Well, I mean,
it will be and always will fucking be Twitter. God damn it. He was.
I was the 100% longest holdout.
This fucking guy. Fuck.
Dude, it took me the longest though, because like being on my computer, I'd see X and then I'd go to my phone and I'm like, where the fuck? Like I got so confused. And then whenever it finally updated, because it forced me to update. And then whenever I updated, I couldn't find Twitter on my phone anymore. I was like, this is bullshit. Thank you, Jay. Yes, that's probably what we're going to start with, right? Oh, yeah, it's phenomenal. I love every bit of it, actually. It's quite fun. Yeah. Can't hear you, Skip.
Thank you, Jay. How's that? You got me now? All right.
Only one we hear is Tuna.
Well, that's
you can't hear me.
There you are.
Say again.
It's because I'm not talking.
Yeah, don't think I said anything either.
You got them all. You got all this now.
All right, we're good.
Like
all fucking four.
Yeah, Jay, how's the volume though? Hey, Skep had some technical difficulties last night, so
we got to. I think I got to fix.
Having technical difficulties.
We're gonna have to unfuck this.
We're good. We're good. I just had.
Are you sure?
Yeah. It changed the inputs on a lot of stuff. That's all. So I got it.
Every time my computer updates, I have to go through and unfuck that.
Yeah, I just upgraded both of mine to Windows 11 too because I thought maybe it was causing that. So they're all up Windows 11 now.
Oh well, have fun with that one.
It's not bad.
Yeah, you know how the search bar and everything's in the center on your taskbar with Windows 11. You can move it over to the left, like Windows 10 is.
I kind of like it because it's kind of like a Mac.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But Macs are trash, so.
I don't believe.
And
I don't
so
believe so.
Like but we're not going to talk about that.
I don't believe
Macs are garbage.
I don't think so.
Absolute trash.
They have their purposes.
Worst PC ever.
Ease of use.
That's why they last.
Good to play fucking.
Oh, you can't play games on them.
Trail.
They're for like production and multimedia and shit like that.
Yeah, but they also last 10 times as long as a fucking Windows PC too.
They do.
I have PCs that last forever. Yeah. Gaming PCs are the worst just because there's such strain on them. But if you have a regular laptop, Windows laptop, or a regular Windows PC that you're not gaming on and shit like that, you're using it for the same purposes as an Apple, they last just as long.
Yeah,
I don't know. I go to some pretty sketchy websites.
Well,
you need a
VPN, budget laptops.
Mac's better for that too.
Yeah, graphic design, some video, multimedia editing, stuff like that. It's not for like gaming. Shit.
They are for creators. Yeah. Like if you like creator, like dude, ask any fucking editor that does this, that does it for a fucking living, what they use, and I guarantee they're gonna say it's fucking Mac.
I know. I use
I know.
Well, I mean,
M-Piece that uses a Mac for all his music.
Yeah, it's good for music production too. Yeah, there's a lot of good things about them, but I mean, PCs and they do a lot of shit. They do all those things.
Better on PC. I'm sorry, it is.
They're not as easy to use and transfer between things, in my opinion. Have both things. I have both MacBooks and PCs, and transferring between things from PC to like an iPad to a phone, all that shit is super freaking easy, dude.
Yeah,
it's way harder on a PC.
Oh no, it's easier now. Everything's linked to your Google account, your Gmail account. I can go on the same files from my phone to my tablet to my PC.
Can you switch a call from your phone to your tablet to your PC in a literal push of a button and without dropping it?
I don't know. I've never tried it.
You can do it on a Android?
On a PC, yeah. There's I had the program, I took it off, but yes, there's a program for it.
Well, it's built into Apple products. It's just messaging.
What I really like, what I really like is I can literally copy and paste from my phone.
Yeah.
And then hit paste on my MacBook or my iPad.
It's crazy.
And it's right there.
Yeah, it's crazy. Or you can pick up anything. It's the ease of use. You're 100%. It's better on
connectability.
Apples. Yeah, it's way better. No external stuff needed. But power through, you can upgrade a freaking PC like no other thing, man.
Yeah.
Not only that, like you can run more applications on Android and Windows than you can Mac and Apple. Like the store's completely more open than Apple's is.
That's not necessarily true.
I can run
Mac
Windows
and Apple's
on
getting
my
better.
Mac.
Yeah, Mac and Apple is getting better at apps and everything else. Used to be the worst because every little thing for Apple phones, everything you had to pay for. Like it was all added on.
Yeah, that was in the beginning.
That was terrible. That was one of the 99% drawback of like an Apple phone or all that is because every fucking little thing you had to pay for. Everything.
Yeah.
You can run Windows on a Mac, right? You can run a separate operating system, Windows, and it actually runs better. It's fucking stupid.
Yes,
right?
on Windows you have the phone link.
Oh yeah,
and you can link your phone.
That's what happened in Philadelphia. Is their autopilot was set to a Mac, and they didn't pay for the subscription.
Didn't pay for this. Yeah. They're getting better now with a lot of their apps and programs, though. They weren't making much money. A lot of people aren't going to pay for that shit.
It is a lot. It is more expensive for sure. For a lot of dumb shit, but it's more expensive. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Ashley will be running Photoshop, Illustrator, fucking Chrome, like full editing.
My wife does that for her photographs on her laptop, and it's a Windows laptop, and it's an old laptop, and it works just fine. Yeah. She edits and does all of her photos. We'll have fucking 10 goddamn tabs open,
so you can literally do the same things on both. Sweet.
Same thing.
It's just a matter of choice. That's all.
Sounds like my son. I go to my son's PC and he's got fucking 15 tabs open. I'm like, what are these all for? I don't know. I just don't close them.
That drives me insane.
Yep. Ashley does the same shit. And I'm like, I can't.
I can't, dude. I can't either.
Your memory
drives me nuts.
Bogged down by that.
But she'll have like 5 different fucking windows with like 12 different tabs on 5 different windows. Yeah. But they're all different fucking profiles. And I'm like, and then she'll be like, hey, babe, go do this. And I'll get on her computer. And I'm like, where in the fuck am I?
This is Narnia.
Like somebody dropped me in the middle of a fucking corn maze that's fucking 10 miles fucking long.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and then there's a random fucking music playing, and I'm like, I don't even know where the fuck this come from.
It's
I'm
Narnia.
like, I'm just gonna get on mine. Yeah, I'm just gonna get on my computer and I'll do what I gotta do. I can't.
That is the worst. Like she's got, you have so many tabs open, and like an ad starts playing on one of the freaking tabs. You can't find where it's coming from.
Yeah. And the only reason Apple changed their charger port is because all those countries finally said, fuck you, we're tired of it.
I'm glad they did that.
I'm glad they did that.
That was ridiculous. And that 100% was for money. That's all it is. It's all for money.
Proprietary proprietary peripherals are 100% for money. I'm so glad they went to USB-C because it's so simple.
So simple.
Yeah. I'm glad they went away from the old mini USBs and everyone's like, pretty much everything's on USB-C now, which it doesn't matter what the direction is. You don't have to fumble around at night trying to figure out like which way. It just plugs right in. It's so easy.
It's so nice.
Yeah. See, wireless charging now is like my favorite thing because I can just like roll over and just pop my phone on. Like, I ain't gonna do shit. I just roll over, put my phone down, and I see a light pop up, and I'm like, okay, we're charging.
My only problem is sometimes because I use these thick ass cases.
Oh.
And sometimes it won't charge through these.
Really?
Because they're thick. They're getting better, but
Yeah.
I haven't had any issues with my OtterBox on mine so far.
It could be the charger too. Like the strength of it, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, the magnetic.
I know I know the built-in wireless charger in my wife's car. It won't charge my phone.
Oh shoot!
Through the case.
I was actually surprised because the new couch we got has got a wireless charger. I was actually surprised it would actually charge my phone through my case.
Fancy, dude.
That's cool.
Yeah, because my OtterBox doesn't.
Super nice couch.
Oh yeah, that couch is fucking shit, dude. And then Ashley, it took me 6 months to convince Ashley to buy that fucking couch. And she kept saying no, and now she won't get off the motherfucker. She's like, oh my god, it's so comfy. And I'm like,
I just won't ever buy electric anymore. Like the ones we have now are electric, and my next ones that are reclining, I'm going back to manual.
Yeah, I have both.
Fuck electric. It's literally you sit there for 10 minutes to lower it down. You need to get up and go to the bathroom. You're like,
damn.
It's like quick. Fuck.
I got quick motors on mine, I guess.
Yeah, well, see, I like how the headrest on ours adjusts too.
Yeah,
so
mine,
oh, dude, when you're sitting there to watch a movie, you're like, oh, this is amazing.
So ours reclines. The headrest moves back and forth, and it has lumbar.
Nice.
So the lumbar inflates and deflates or whatever, or moves. But I'll never buy electric ones again either, though. It's just shit to break, and I can tell if it's not perfect level. I mean, it's got to be exactly perfect level. If there's any tweaking it at all, those motors are actually decently strong, and it will fuck your couch up.
It'll fuck your couch.
Fuck your couch.
Oh man. Okay, Rebel. You had something. We're gonna move. Let's move into it.
Yeah, we got to move into all the other fun stuff.
We got 10 minutes of BS and 13 minutes of BS, and let's get into it.
Yep.
So it was you're talking about the Philly,
we could do the Philly one first if you want.
No.
Yeah.
Did you want to see the videos or?
Yeah. Pull it up. What are you talking about?
I got a picture of the what we were talking about.
I got
earlier.
the plane as well.
No, I got the picture of the tail part of it too. So
okay.
When that pops up, I got it. We were planning, y'all. We actually planned the episode like
a little bit.
5 minutes before we hopped on.
A couple minutes.
All right. So what do we got here, Rebel?
This is the doorbell cam of the plane crash.
Yeah. So this is the Philadelphia Lear 55 crash caught by a doorbell cam. Yeah, the medical transport.
Oh, there's a dash
It's
cam.
another one. Yep. Sad.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
There should be one
30
more,
seconds
but I don't know
after
if this one's
takeoff.
gonna have it.
Okay.
30 seconds after takeoff, which anybody in
So-
aviation knows that is the most critical time
Takeoff and
of
landing.
safety for a plane. Yeah.
Yeah. Cruising is fine.
It's that one right there. Up, 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 up. Nope, over to the right one.
That's
Yeah.
the one? Okay.
That one right there looks like it was full throttle straight to the ground. It wasn't falling from the sky. That looked like it was under propulsion to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, aircraft.
Mr. Aviation Maintenance guy.
Aircraft can. I'm just watching it. Yeah. Aircraft can come down pretty fast when they're not in a spin and they're just nosing because they're very aerodynamic. I mean, it's not like. So what I want to know is what is the position of this to the airfield where they took off?
That I don't know.
Do they take off and then they go into a turn like a lot of aircraft do? Get on their flight path? Or was it an up and a down? Because
remember this, Skep. Rate of climb 4,180 feet per minute.
yes. Okay, so that's doesn't look like 30
Airlines.
seconds. Yeah. I was like, that's a long flight
that
path
looks
for 30 seconds, goes across the whole state. Is that one right there? Radar map shows route of that plane. Okay, maybe it's that one on the mirror.
Yeah.
You in Philadelphia
Yeah,
flight
that
before a
looks-
crash and fireball killed 6. Sad. Okay. Is it show like, is the map clickable or is it? I want to know what the reference of the direction of the airfield was and what runway they took off from.
Give me a second, and I will
I want to
find
know if
that.
they went straight up and then straight down, basically.
Yeah, Tuna probably have a better.
Lexington Park, and they crashed where in the green area, or in the?
It looks like they ended right here in the Pasture Gardens or whatever this is. Astor.
Oh, okay.
Like it took off here and landed
It
there.
took off from a
So
park.
it looks like it's pointing this way.
Yeah. So there must be a runway somewhere back there. I wish I could
Give me
see
a
the map
second.
of that Lexington Park. Let me see.
I'm about to pull up the runway and shit.
Oh crap. Okay. They weren't taking off from Pax River. That's Pennsylvania, right?
Yeah, Philly.
Okay. I'm looking at Maryland. I'm like, no way they took off from Pax River, dude. That's crazy. Okay.
I just need to know what airport it was, because when I find out what airport
dude,
it
that's
is,
straight off the runway, bro.
It says
Philadelphia.
Northeast Philadelphia Airport.
Yeah, pull up the map. Just type in Lexington Park, Philadelphia, and then zoom out, and you'll see that if they came off of any runway and headed that direction, they'd be making that bank turn there. I have a feeling they took off probably 30 seconds. What is it? What were they? Probably about 2,000 feet in the air. Probably 30 seconds, and then coming down. Yeah, right there. That's the airport. So did they come off of that runway? Is that what people are saying?
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
So what is it about? Probably 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a few miles. Wow. I wonder if that's a flight control malfunction
All right.
that caused
I mean,
that.
what you were saying earlier about that.
So there's 2 runways.
Yeah. So they're saying if they took off on, there's no runway numbers, so I couldn't tell you what their relation to the compass is.
They either took off on 15 or 24.
Is that their?
Oh wait, no, it went to the south. Hold on.
Well, yeah,
Oh,
but in
so
relation,
I got it. They got it on. They left on 06. Here, let me pull this up real quick.
06.
Yeah.
So that would have
Based
been
on what that map just showed.
All right,
Look, it's showing that it crashed to the south.
Hold on. Yeah, it crashed to the south, but they're saying it took off on 06.
Yep.
So that's not
Look.
what that picture is.
that's the same one. That's the same one. Is
okay?
they're
Yeah,
showing on that
24
picture.
degrees or 0.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
6. Yeah. So it took off. Well, it took off. Sorry, 24. My bad.
Right. So, if you guys don't know that,
And then
the numbers are in relation to the compass, north, south, east, west directions. So in a circle, 0 to 360. That's what those numbers mean. So if you have a circle that starts with 0 and goes 360 degrees, every runway is a numbering system, and they're all related to which way they face in that.
So it crashed
degrees.
right around here.
No, a little bit farther south,
Further
more
south,
on that same road, but south,
in this area,
like that next major cross street, Cotton Man
somewhere
Avenue.
in here.
Oh, right here.
Yeah, like a little bit north, right? Like on that intersection, but on Cottonwood, a little bit left of it. Cotton Man, whatever.
So like right here.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
So I'm just gonna theorize a couple things. It's a Lear 55, right? How old is that aircraft?
That is 2.4 nautical miles from the runway to Cottonman Avenue.
Okay, and normal rate of climb?
4,180 feet per minute.
Per minute. So probably about 2,000 feet in the air.
Probably.
Before it came down. Possibly. Thereabouts.
Well, this is EOR right here. That thing probably on a Learjet, actually. How long
it probably took off long before the end of that runway. I would be willing to bet it took off before it even crossed the other runway, dude. It's a Lear. I don't know how many boards it requires to take off to reach takeoff speed, but probably not many. A board is 1,000 feet. Right, 1,000 feet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 1,000 feet of length of runway.
Let's see, 2.4. That's 7,000 foot runway.
Oh, dude. So probably, I bet he took off in just a couple boards, man.
Yeah.
It's a Lear 55. So they probably took off long before they ever touched across the other runway. So there's probably a little bit more distance. So the Lear 55, it makes a big boom when it's considering it's probably somewhere close to max takeoff weight. I would say probably about 19 to 20,000 pounds.
Yeah, it's 21.5 is a max takeoff on that
so
one.
that's max. So imagine, and fuel capacity 6'9", 6'4", probably had a full bag, depending on where it was going. So you're talking a 20,000 pound object hitting the ground full of fuel. It made a huge boom. That's fact.
Yep.
Rate of climb 4190. Okay, feet per minute. Yep. 461
It was heading to
knots.
Tijuana.
Okay, so that thing was coming
loaded
down a bullet speed, loaded with fuel.
No, it was going to stop in Missouri.
Was it? So maybe they had a
Yes, it
little less
said,
than 18. Maybe they had a
It
little
was
less.
heading for Springfield Branson National Airport, stopping in Missouri before traveling to its final destination of Tijuana.
For gas.
Probably. Because the
It's
max
still-
range is 2492 nautical miles. So it's probably still damn near full.
It's probably still
if
damn
you-
near full, yeah.
If you take into account what they got to have for diversions,
Yeah.
and it was at night, so they have to have at least an hour of 45 minutes to an hour of fuel, depending on what their regulations are for that company. But at minimum, they have to have 45.
There's going to be a minimum fuel
minutes.
fuel load to land too. You can't go below flight rules. So Missouri's a pretty good distance in nautical miles. I would probably say that's a fuel stop, probably close to a full bag of fuel. At least the mains in that aircraft are full. Let's even give you 5,000 pounds of fuel, let's say, or 4,500 even. It's still a 20,000 pound object.
879 nautical miles.
Yeah. So, and the range is what?
2492.
I'm gonna say they're 3/4 of the way full, probably.
Yeah, they'd have to be to take into consideration of takeoff fuel, climb fuel, reserve fuel, all that shit.
That's
so
basically they're going okay, they're heading south just a little bit, getting on their flight path perhaps, because it's not always going to be direct.
Here's the line. Yeah. And they were probably on a freaking IFR flight, so this could be all weird, so it could add more fuel to it depending on their route, but that's direct route is 892.
Yeah.
Or 879,
like they're
sorry.
going to go south and then cut over towards it.
It could be just flight path, like whatever their logged flight plan was.
Yeah, that are, because I mean you've got KPHL here.
Oh, okay. So you're not
Philadelphia International, so they're going to be directing you.
So that's a commuter terminal, basically, is where they're at.
They're going to be directing you. So basically, until you get out of this,
pink
magenta ring or whatever, ATC is going to be directing you where to go.
Yep, all traffic in there. The main airport. Yep. We do
this
the
one right
same
here is going to have
thing
the main.
With Seattle, pretty much anywhere in Washington, you're dealing with Seattle. So that's just the way it is. Same thing is going to happen with the helicopter and the passenger jet. We'll talk about that in a little bit too. That's all going to be mostly controlled by civilian air traffic control. Whoever has the, what do you call it?
So we were talking about it a little bit.
Well, I want to jump
into
I want to jump into that. So So just so everybody knows, just to break it down, that horizontal thing that sits on the back of an aircraft generally is called a horizontal stabilizer or stabilator if it's on a helicopter. On a helicopter, they don't generally have an elevator, which is on the back of them. So that's the big movable object that goes up and down. That will control the pitch up and pitch down of the aircraft. So up and down. Okay. Elevators control up and down. So remember that. Full up, full down. That's nose up, nose down. Okay. On the back of that is a trim tab. Those can be adjusted. Usually with a trim wheel or trim switch of some sort. That can help like dial in any kind of flight characteristics. A difference in the elevator positions could cause a little bit of a roll perhaps, and they can trim that sort of stuff out to make the plane fly straight and level, for lack of better terms. So that's what trim usually does.
Basically, you can take your hands off the controls and that thing should stay exactly where it's at.
Yeah. So in this case, this is not the tail of the aircraft that we're going to be looking at, but just to give you guys a little bit of insight as to what the back of a plane generally looks like and what some of the nomenclatures are of the parts. So, okay, so this is a Lear 55.
Yep.
Okay, it's a 55 foot long aircraft. Did we have the one that's got a better picture of like the tail? So I can show you guys like kind of what I was talking about.
Which one do you want?
Anyone that shows a pretty good picture of the tail.
Good broadside.
Yeah, it doesn't matter as long as we can expand it a little bit and make it kind of big. This is a tiny picture. Okay, guys, see if you take your little laser pointer here.
Nope, that's 265 by 190.
Any of them, really? Yeah.
I'm just trying to find one that's like somewhat good.
Just a side photo.
That's 255. They're all tiny. That's what she said.
Just look at an air charter service one. They're probably big. Yeah. None of those How'd you say it?
299. Bombardier.
Hit control and scroll wheel up and it'll zoom in on the picture.
Yeah, but it's gonna be all pixelated and shit.
God, all these photos are stupid.
All right, Learjet 55. Let's do
just do
this.
Learjet 55.
We might get a good one.
Call it.
There's an air charter service one right there.
Just pick
299 by 168.
What's that one? Air ambulance.
275 by 183.
Dude, what is up with these pictures, bro? They're all tiny.
300 by 168. We're getting there, boys.
Oh my gosh. How do we find? There's a good one right there. What's that? Skyjet Elite, second row, middle. What's that one?
275 by 183.
Well, is it going to the website or is it just like the thumbnail you're popping up?
Here, I got you. I got one.
Yeah, but it should still show.
All right, hold up. We're going to swap. Okay, here we go. Keep yours, Tuna.
We finally found one?
Yeah, keep yours. We'll pop that one in a second. Okay. I'm going to use my cursor on the stream so the stream can see it too. But so this is an above rear to the wings engine, dual turbofan engine on this aircraft. Okay. So this right here, the vertical part, is there a vertical stabilizer attached to the back of that as the rudder. So that's your left and right directions of your put the nose, which controls yaw. So yaw on left, yaw right. Okay. So
think of drifting.
Yeah, drifting. Just turning right, turning left. The rudder controls that. Okay, so on the top here is the horizontal stabilizer, and like I was showing you guys earlier, and on the back of that is the elevators, and then there'll be some elevator trim tabs probably on the back. In this vertical portion, so the whole back of the plane would be called an empennage. All right. In this vertical portion here, below the horizontal stabilizer, there is going to be a hydraulic assembly. Usually a hydraulic assembly. It could be electric on some planes, but it's a jack screw. And there's basically what it does is allows you to change the angle of the entire horizontal stabilizer from the front of the plane, so you can adjust the angle of that. You can point point it down more, point it up, and generally they're adjusted depending on the center of gravity of the aircraft for weight and balance purposes or maintain a flight characteristic. They do move. They are inspected. Most of those jack screws are a life limited component, which means they have to be replaced at a certain age or number of flight hours. And they all vary depending on the different planes. So some are more than others. Anyway, so inside of this thing, there's an Acme nut on the top, and this whole jack screw in here gets lubricated and generally inspected on interval. And there's been cases in the past, especially back with the McDonnell Douglas, the MD-80, or I think a 727 was similar. So Boeing, where these jack screws were not being inspected. In fact, 737 has the same jack screw assembly as the McDonnell Douglas, the MD-80s did, which still has to have lubrication and inspection, because if it doesn't, corrosion can occur and the acme nut on the top can come off, which then you lose entire total control of that horizontal stabilizer, which, remember, controls your plane, could control your plane going up or down fully. If it comes off the top, you're nose diving hard. If it's all the way down, you're nosing up real hard, which eventually you're going to loop over and you're going to be nose down hard. You could try to counteract it a little bit with elevator. So elevator would be pulling back on the yoke or stick or forward. You can change that, but it's not going to counteract it enough because the flight surface area is too great. So really you're kind of fucked, you know, for lack of a better term, you're fucked if that happens. If this assembly breaks, and I'm only speculating here, okay? If this assembly breaks, this plane's fucking going, it's becoming a lawn dart. That is what is happening.
Or as the conspiracy theorists would say, a missile that attacked Philly.
Yeah. Look, so back in 2000, Alaska Airlines, there was an aircraft that crashed off the coast of Point Mugu. I was stationed there. I remember having to be on watch to like be on the beach to keep people off and report if anything came to the shore, and we'll just say parts and pieces of things. Okay. Yeah. So this is what happened to that aircraft. If you look at the Alaska Airlines, I think it was 2000, about year 2000 or so. Let me look. Alaska Air crash Point Mugu, CPTMUGO. It was flight 261. It was an MD-80, which is a very similar style to this plane we're looking at here. It's got the whale tail looking horizontal stabilizer and then the mid rear, like the rear elevated engines above the wings. It's heavy. It's a heavy aircraft on the back because those engines are pretty heavy. So this one lost pitch control. So remember, pitch up, pitch down because of the horizontal stabilizer trim system. Jack screw acme nut threads basically fucking sheared. And it was like it lost control. So they crashed out into the water because of this. And there was, I can't remember how many people were on board, but there was 47 passengers, 5 crew members. They were heading towards Seattle. I can't remember if...
Switch over to Tuna's live. He's got a picture of it.
Okay. You got 261 up?
Yeah, well,
okay,
not 260, but a mock-up of what it would look like if you lost that.
Yeah, which, let's say this happens. Let's say you're inverted, right? You still have roll. You're still going to be able to... you're probably still going to be able to roll that plane. But you just can't control the attitude of the aircraft to the ground. Like, there's really not a lot you can do there. You could try, but basically you have roll control, maybe a little bit of trim, or a little bit of trim control, a little bit of elevator control, but it's really not going to do a whole lot. So, especially if you're working on a flight control surface that has no controllability, which those elevators are connected to, then you're basically, there's nothing you can do. So I can't remember how many was on that. It was 88 people. It was 2 pilots, 3 cabin crew members, and 83 passengers, and this was in 2000. And 88 people died. It was really fucking sad. Just like this is really fucking sad. But
so what you're saying is,
my thought on this is it's probably a flight control mechanical error issue. Most times in aviation, though, like aircraft mishaps are generally human error is mostly what's involved.
Yep.
And a lot of times with airplanes too, human error is the root of this. Like this, what may look like a mechanical failure, right? Let's say that jack screw did come apart and this plane did lose control of their horizontal stab and they went and turned into, you know, basically an uncontrolled dart to the ground. Probably behind that is a human error somewhere, either with an inspection or a part replacement. something like that, if that's the case. So generally, in most cases, and being part of aviation mishap boards in the past, they most always have an element of human error involved. So,
yep, that's
mechanical
checklists
fails,
are super important.
Mechanical
like
failures
you got
don't.
pre-flight.
Yep. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, you got your pre-flight that you got to do. Walk around on the plane, make sure everything works. And on these types of jets, you've got one of your pilots is walking around while the other one is doing all the flight controls to make sure that it works. And then you actually have pre-takeoff checklists that you also have to do to make sure that everything is also running sound. So there's a lot of different checks and balances when it comes to flying a plane.
Yeah.
To find out if there is an issue with a plane before you take off.
Yeah.
And that's why 90% of everything has some sort of human error factor.
Yeah, and just to be clear too, like your pre-flight walkarounds, you're catching surface items. There's not an in-depth inspection. It's literally a look inspection just to make sure nothing is out of the ordinary. Everything is where it's supposed to be, and it's free of any kind of foreign objects, and
flight control surfaces.
The last look, surfaces are clear.
Are also a big thing, yeah.
So like, most cases it boils down to some sort of human error somewhere. That's kind of what I'm leaning towards this, and I think it could possibly be a mechanical failure due to a human error at some point. That's my thought on it.
We won't know for a long time.
Know. They may come out. I'll probably see a HazRep on it at some point, just because I get to see those things. So like hazardous report or hazardous report for aircraft. Most of the time we'll see those for military aircraft, but in fact, you can probably find some of those things online for different aircraft that have crashed in the past, but it's a sad thing. But everybody's very sensitive right now to airplane crashes. That's usually what happens when something like this occurs, and they start seeing them everywhere. Like, oh my God, there's a crash here. There's a crash there. There's a crash here. I'm like, look, there's probably 1,000. I'm not even joking. You probably look this up. There's probably about 1,000 freaking plane crashes in the United States every year. Probably 200 or 300 of them have fatalities. So let me see. Let me look that up. Average amount of aircraft crash. Okay, the average number of crashes per year in the U.S. is approximately 1,309 fatal and 1,017 non-fatal. So I was close. About 1,000. I thought it'd be less fatal ones, but even still, I can tell you that it's based on the number of crashes and the number of flights there, it's safer to fly in an airplane than it is to drive a car. Roughly 3 a day. Yeah. I would think it'd be more closer to like 1 a day, but this says according to FAA in 2022, there's approximately 5 plane crashes a day. That includes general aviation, commercial planes, rarely crashing. If we look at the numbers, there are 0.028 commercial planes crashing in a day. So it's way less. Most of those, I bet they're small craft. Like, sorry, Tuna, I hate saying that because I know you fly small.
No, it is. I mean, it honestly is. You're not.
Yeah,
you're not gonna upset me on that one.
Yeah.
Well, because you got, whenever it's not in a professional setting or whatever, complacency is a big issue.
How many of those are Alaskan, personal Alaskan crashes? Because
bush pilots.
Bush pilots.
Civil aviation is so general aviation is 1,150. 121 air carrier, 31 from air carriers, and 37 from commuter and on-demand carriers. General aviation is 1,150. Foreign registered aircraft is 10, unregistered aircraft is 9, and that is accidents. Most general aviation is causing fatalities. It said this is from 2023. It's 307 fatalities in general aviation per year, and 1,150 accidents overall, and 191 fatal accidents. I wish I could. It's NTSB. It's U.S. Civil Aviation Accident Dashboard. Gives you all the way up to 2023, which is a little old. I'm sure they have data from 2024, 25. They might be compiling it still, but so what we have the soonest of is basically there's about 1,300, 12 to 1,300 accidents in aviation in the U.S. in a year, and about 300 and total is 327. Yeah, so total U.S. civil aviation fatalities decreased from 356 in 2022 to 327 in 2023. So fatalities aboard aircraft, which means someone died on the plane, like I don't know, had a heart attack or something. It was 304. So there's a lot of, medical emergency on the plane. So where someone could die. And then, yeah. Do you see what I was talking about? It's ntsb.gov, and it's U.S. Civil Aviation Accident Dashboard. It gives you a really good breakdown of how many there are. And there's a lot of flights in the United States every year. And I think it's far more dangerous to drive in a car than it is to fly in a plane, based on the number of cars out there, number of car accidents there are in a year, and deaths there are in a year. There's way more.
Yeah.
So the in-air collision between the Black Hawk and the airline.
Dude,
so what I'm
man.
hearing is that
Yeah,
that helicopter is flying higher than it's supposed to be flying.
So that's
like 500 feet higher than it was supposed to be, some shit like that.
It wasn't 500 feet because the crash happened at like 300 or below.
Yeah, I think somewhere was saying they're limited to 200 AGL in that area for a rotary wing aircraft.
Yeah,
that's
250. So it's 50.
That's what I'm trying to find on my sectional. So every airspace, no matter where it's at, they have flyways. So and that is a area that you can literally traverse through different classes of airspace.
Right.
Basically unencumbered. Like, yes, you still have to make contact with tower, but if you tell them that you're flying in this and there's altitude restrictions, you got to fly at the proper headings where they're at, like, and it's more of a VFR thing, a visual flight rule thing.
Yeah.
For those flyways, and that is a heli flyway, like a helicopter flyway. Designated. I'm trying to pull it up, but I can't seem to get it to pull up on my map. I have it on my sectional in my bag. And I saw it online, the actual flyways, but every Class B airspace like that does have those specific flyways. Like for me to traverse through Dallas or Houston, I don't have to worry about too much traffic if I just stick to that flyway.
Right.
And it is a 200-foot AGL heli flyway.
That in that area specifically?
Yes, I did look at that one.
So that one's... So if they were above that, then they were outside of that flight path designated for them.
Yep.
So, I mean,
That one is hard to tell.
Yeah,
then,
if that's the case, then that's a human error thing. You know, like we went back to that. It's a human error thing. I mean,
I would like to try to debunk this one too.
which one?
So 30 minutes after the collision, a doomsday flight was diverted around it.
What's a doomsday flight? Are you talking to
Doomsday
E6?
flight.
it's the E6, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, but it's
What do they call it?
airborne
dude?
command post.
Because that's
Yeah.
what civilian people call it.
Oh my god. Fucking fearmongers, bro.
Yeah,
Look,
which is
unofficial
it's
denomination of a class of aircraft, which is an airborne command post.
Sure. Yeah.
for nuclear war.
E4, sorry. Not the
Which
E6.
one is it?
It's the E4. It's the Air Force version.
Oh, okay. Okay. They
Yeah,
all
it's
do the
E4,
same
sorry.
shit.
Yeah, they all do the same shit. One's Navy, one's Air Force.
Yeah.
That's it.
But the theory is they're trying to take out that plane and got the wrong one.
Who is gonna take out that plane?
That helicopter was supposedly supposed to hit that the doomsday plane instead.
What? That's one of the conspiracy theories out there.
That's one of the conspiracy theories, yes. And it's all because of a coincidence.
Dude. Yeah. That's funny.
People will believe anything.
Dude. You know, people can look at all these, right? This is public information. You can find all these flights on online, and a lot of times when you see those military flights, they're not up to time, I should say.
Yeah.
They're not up to time. You can see from
And this one says
ships,
200
boats.
feet.
Yeah.
So even if it would have missed it.
But
'cause
look
it would
here,
be
that
50 feet higher.
that picture right there where it shows that doomsday plane is, it's
Ain't
literally right over fucking Andrews Air Force Base.
That's where it landed. Yeah. It was
But that's
diverted
what I'm saying.
to Andrews.
So that's where it landed. That's showing its flight path that it took.
That's why it's saying 200
was
foot of
diverted
altitude
around.
because it was going into land. Once a plane lands, it doesn't show altitude
Yeah.
and it disappears off the map. That's every single plane. So that's why, because that one went to Andrews.
When they park and turn the transponder off.
Well, as soon as they pretty much hit the ground, it doesn't track anymore on the open source.
So yeah. So
And no
this
plane
is
does
just
that.
showing its flight path that it took.
Yeah. But
And
that
I
could
don't
be a
see the
typical
issue with
flight
it.
path. That could be a typical flight path for it to go into land, into Andrews, if that's where it was actually going,
Yeah.
and not be a diversion.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe that. Why would a
Because
helicopter
that's a standard-
take out another military aircraft? That doesn't make sense.
yeah, I mean, and that's a typical left traffic pattern.
Not an
This person
coincidence,
says-
but a very common occurrence. Other than Nebraska, probably the second most likely airport for these to land at. Yeah.
Those things
So
land
easily, it's
anywhere
just
and everywhere, though.
coincidence.
Weird. It's a
Easily
weird.
defined.
Look, these people are gonna find exactly what they're looking for. Okay.
A black rocket work.
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about them a couple times now.
Yeah, I haven't heard that one. I haven't seen
Click
it.
your
but, yeah.
messages arrow down. There you go.
Thank you.
Doomsday plane. Okay, guys. Who is this weirdo?
Southerner
scientist?
scientist, tomato breeder, songwriter,
Okay. Well, interesting.
and he hates communists,
He hates communists. I'm on his side.
but he loves everybody else.
I can agree with you there.
Okay.
Tomatoes, okay.
And he
Southern
does
scientist.
It does have some cowboy boots as his PFP.
Profile pic.
Okay, plus 1
Yeah.
point, sure. There's a lot of weird stuff out there. What else is out there?
Yeah, that one's. Yeah, the
Silly.
conspiracies on this one are fun. But like on this one, like you're really, I've seen so many different things on this one. It's ridiculous. Like,
dude,
the biggest thing to me is like, if, you know, because we're not going to know. I mean, there's a bunch of different things out there. Some are saying that it was, you know, 300 feet in the air. Some are saying it was 200. There's the video out there of it, you know, and then the recordings, because it's, anybody can go listen to air traffic control online. You can literally pull it up on your phone and listen to air traffic control shit. Military aircraft, you're not going to hear unless you get on a different frequency. Like even general aviation, when you're in a plane, you could not hear planes or military aircraft talking.
Yeah. There's reasons for that. It's not just frequency, but there's also communication methods.
Yeah, it's all encrypted shit.
I mean, it's not my personal view, but they're also saying woman pilot.
Yeah, so that one's the other one that's fucking stupid.
Yeah, no, she used to be working in the White House and all this other shit or whatever.
Dude, like I said, man, people are gonna look at something and they're gonna find exactly what they're looking for. Okay.
Yeah.
If you want to, if someone wants to see that as this whole DEI thing or whatever, like it's not. Okay, you're gonna see it because all the evidence you're looking for is pointing you to it, instead of opening up your eyes and looking at the whole big picture. Like seriously, there's a lot of women pilots out there. Like get over it, man. And I've worked with a lot of them. They're fucking awesome. Like I've never had one that I was like, eh. But like, they all go through the same exact training as everyone else. So you can't cheat the shit. You know what I mean? You get evaluated. There ain't cheating.
There is a standard you have to exceed.
Yeah. And if someone's like saying, oh, I'm going to let that, you know, I'm going to let the standard go a little bit on you on this one because I like you or whatever. That shit don't happen, man, because that endangers people, including the person that is evaluating them. Like a safety, if a safety thing happens, like literally people get kicked out of fucking flight school. They get like even when they're learning the military, if they're learning the type of aircraft, they get set back. If they have a safety violations, they get set back to fucking learn all that shit before they're allowed to do it again. Like they have to basically train that shit out of them.
They do that in college too. Like if you're trying to get an aviation degree and all that shit and trying to go for that, they will. Yeah,
not in the military. That shit don't happen. Nope. You fuck up, you go back.
No, they'll make you redo it.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is it like there's no system in this case where she had it easier than the rest of them. Not fucking true whatsoever.
I think in my years in the military, I think that aviation is one of the strict, if not the most strictest, when it comes to safety protocols.
Oh yeah, dude. Because you get hemmed up, man. Like if you don't do your job right, like you're gonna see the guy, and they could take money and pay and stripes and all that shit from you. Like you could go to jail.
And I mean, you got to think.
Go see,
we'll see the man.
A plane crash is almost unsurvivable. Almost.
Yeah. There
are some weird things that nobody can, you know, with physics, they can't explain it, but it's almost unsurvivable.
Right.
Now, physics will work in your favor with certain emergencies that you have.
Sure.
When it comes to those things.
Yeah.
You know, like first time I had to do a fucking engine out procedure and he just pulls that bitch to idle and he said, I hope you know how to float. I'm like, well, fuck. You know?
Yeah, so there's so many things that these people got to do for training to be qualified to fly on their specific platform of aircraft. Like that, she clearly is qualified to do it. Sounded like going through a check ride, maybe. That's normal shit that happens.
Or annual training event.
Yeah, even flight crews in the back have to do that shit. They got to get check rides from other qualified crew members that basically put them through the fucking ringer test to make sure they're doing their job right. It's happened. Yep. The annual check rides happen. So a lot of them are on annual, at least in the Navy they are. So It ain't a fucking joke. Like, these people don't. Yeah. My thought on this is a human error. This is an accident. It's tragic. It's unfortunate. You know, it always is. But it's like, I don't think there's any more to it really than just an accident happened, and it's a sad one.
Yeah, I'm interested. I've been.
I want to know like what was it exactly? What happened? What was the error? You know, because that's how you learn, right?
I mean, I've heard both sides of the radio communication.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's publicly out there, but I was like, okay, I want this verified. Like, is this like legit the actual unaltered? Like, did somebody record this from online?
Who knows, man?
Yeah, but I mean,
so much crap out there online. You don't know what to believe half the time.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, man. You know, if it's one of those like, okay, I heard this. If this was the case, then here's, you know, what could have happened. But then there could have been multiple different things that could have happened.
Yeah.
To prevent it.
That's usually what comes out of these mishap boards is where the errors were and what the preventative measures in place recommendations would be. You know.
Yep.
That's the kind of stuff that happens. That's how we went from you know, back in the day, flying in airplanes was pretty not that safe. We have a lot of mishaps, military aviation, tons of mishaps until like more and more, you know, we've aviation maintenance manuals and aviation, you know, naval aircraft training and what is it? What is NATOP? Do you have NATOPs? It's something similar.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, training and operation standardization. So there's standardizations of flying particular aircraft that is all written in blood. All of it. Like literally all the shit that we do in flight, emergency flight procedures, all that shit is written in blood, man. All the tweaks that they made, you know, because you can only like predict so much. Hey, what this could happen. This could have. Yeah.
And there's a lot of test pilots with huge ass fucking balls to make sure that they actually fucking work.
Bro. Telling you.
Okay. And to make our episode name make sense, we have to talk about tariffs.
Oh, we gotta talk about tariffs too. Shit.
Oh yeah, we gotta talk about the terrific.
A lot of people don't understand what they are, how they work.
I'm gonna go pee and grab a beer. I'll be right back.
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand what they are.
I have a rough understanding, but I'm not smart enough to truly understand everything.
Okay. All right. Well, you understand it as like a tax of goods, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I think what people are misunderstanding the most is what are the potential outcomes of them. That's what people misunderstand the most, I think, is what is the intended outcome? What is the intention of it? And I think that's where the confusion comes from. But so let's say, let's say, I'll give you an example. I want to buy, I want to buy a watermelon, right? And you AG sells watermelons, and Rebel, you sell watermelons. And Tuna is in control of let's say I'm in the USA, you're AG, we'll just say I'm in Washington, right? Nevada for AG, Texas, right? Tuna is in Louisiana. He has control over the tax that Washington pays for watermelons. Okay, so let's say if Rebel, you're selling your watermelon and Tuna institutes a 10% tariff on your watermelon, right? Before, your watermelons each cost $10. And now I got a 10% tax put on your watermelon, Rebel. And I'm the buyer. I want to buy a watermelon, but I don't want to pay that much money for it because now it's gone up a whole $1, right? Now it's $11. Well, I know that AG sells fucking watermelons for $10. Guess who I'm going to buy my watermelons from? Get AG, right?
Yeah.
This guy.
That is the concept of what and how, one of the intentions of a tariff is. Because if I want to get it from you, your country or your state, I got to pay 10% more. But I can go look for it elsewhere, a different supplier, and find it cheaper because they don't have that tariff. Or they sell it cheaper. I'm going to go that route, right? I don't want to pass that on to my customers because if I'm buying watermelons for $10 and I got to sell them for $15, right? I'm making $5 profit. If I have to buy them for $11, I'm not going to sell them for $15. I'm going to sell them for fucking $16 so I can still make my $5 profit. So that's passed on to the consumer, right? That's the other end of that. But a lot of people think it's all going to get passed on to the consumer. So there's probably a minimal amount, and nobody's going to buy a $16 watermelon from me when they can buy it for fucking somebody else for $10 or $15. They can get it for less. You're going to find the lowest price. And there's a ton of options out there. So the way the tariffs work is that it creates competitiveness in a capitalistic market. It sometimes costs are then passed on to consumer. However, what happens is the consumer consumes less. Their sales go down. They're forced to find somebody else to get it from. Otherwise, they don't make their bottom line. Literally, that's how tariffs work. Can it create war?
Also
yes.
Yeah, well, it also promotes a lot of these companies that are now trying to get all of their work done overseas to bring all of their manufacturing back to the United States, which in turn will boost the economy because now you have more jobs. Now, is it going to in turn, because, you're not paying somebody, instead of paying some kid, $2.50 an hour, now you're going to have to pay somebody whatever the minimum wage is. So yes, naturally is the price of stuff going to go up? Yes. But production and everything else is just naturally, if it's within these borders, will go up to include wages.
I'm more inclined to pay more for products. It just means I'll probably consume less than I am inclined to pay cheap stuff that includes somebody's slave labor.
Yep.
Because really that's what you're getting out of it. You're getting slave labor. You're paying for slave labor. So if you're okay with that, be okay with it. Understand that it exists. I mean, we're all holding one of these, right?
Yep.
The shit's blood diamonds right here, man. We all know it. There's an acceptability
factor. They got nets around buildings where they manufacture those things.
Yeah. So you got to be okay with a level of it, I suppose, or just don't use it. It's one of the two things. But a lot of people are like, how? I see the argument too, like, well, these tariffs, energy trade with Canada, for example, like we fucking give Canada more energy than they give us.
Yeah.
So it didn't used to be that way, but it is lately. So if we tariff them, they tariff us, like who's going to lose here?
What about them not buying alcohol manufactured or brewed in red states?
Good. You know why? Because you know how hard it is to get some of these fucking protected
bourbons?
Stock fucking bourbons because it gets shipped elsewhere. Fucking dude, it's hard to get some of them. Getting shipped overseas and shit.
And it's supposedly only 12% of our whole alcohol, not just in red states, is being sold in Canada.
Yeah. What do they have? Crown Royal? Is that what everybody likes?
Yeah.
Crown Royal?
Crown Royal, Canadian Mist.
I mean, you got to
pay.
pay.
They got a few, but.
So they put a 25% tariff on it, and now you got to pay fucking $38 instead of $30. I don't know.
People are still people that really want it are gonna buy it.
Yeah, you're just gonna consume less or buy it.
But or find something else that's cheaper.
Exactly.
Like
There's
in
a
that,
TikToker that he shows like the cheaper option for like all these high-end whiskeys and other spirits and liquors and shit. Like that's completely the same thing, just cheaper option for it. Like
So it's
tastes the
made-
same, looks the same, smells the same.
It's made by the same brewer, the same distiller.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
I mean, that's like Buffalo Trace and Eagle Rare.
Same way.
Yeah, one's a little older than the other.
Yeah, it's basically the same shit brewed by the same fucking company
Yeah.
or distilled by the same company.
Mhm.
It's just one aged a little bit different or a little bit longer. That's literally the difference.
That's Blanton's, Eagle Rare, freaking Buffalo Trace, the Buffalo Trace distillery. It makes all those. Some of them are harder to get than others, you know. I think if we don't sell that shit to Canada, then we can probably have more for ourselves.
I don't understand what the. I understand Mexico's tariff, but why are we threatening one on Canada?
On which one?
What are they doing?
What's Canada doing?
Why are we gonna tariff Canada right now? What there's an issue, a reason why. I just don't remember what it was or why.
I think it's because of how much we're subsidizing them.
Yep.
How much U.S. taxpayer dollars are subsidizing things in Canada? I think that's where the issue lies. So, like, basically,
I know
it's like giving money to them.
Yeah.
Mexico is just because of the way that they're handling the cartels and the human trafficking and the drug trafficking and stuff coming from Mexico to us that I just don't understand. Canada's.
Subsidy, dude. I guarantee you, more of our money goes outside of our borders than it stays inside.
100%.
Like,
yeah,
that's not right.
Oh,
we subsidize
like, I feel bad.
40 million a year to Canada, I think is what it says.
Did y'all see like some of the overspending that Doge has already found?
I don't believe half that shit until it comes out to an actual report.
Yeah, I see it on paper.
Because I saw one where the Air Force was paying like $1,000 per paper cup for coffee or some shit.
No, that was the Treasury one. I heard about that.
There was something about Air Force in there too. Because I was like, oh shit, I wonder if Tuna knows about this.
I'm gonna tell you right now, the government wastes. The branches of the military waste money. I'm going to tell you that right now, because here's the deal. What I've always told myself is when I got out of the military, I wanted to be a fucking contractor for the military that sells shit because the price is higher. I could literally go onto a website that I have to use to buy shit, right? Instead of going to Lowe's or Home Depot. Mm-hmm. But I have to buy it on this online thing. And let's just say it's a fucking mouse, a cheap fucking mouse. I can go to Walmart and get the damn thing for $5. Mm-hmm. I'm paying $25 to $35 per fucking mouse.
Yeah.
On this website that I have to use.
Yes. That's part of the problem with all that, I think. My personal opinion, that's a problem.
Yeah, like I get security and shit. Like, you know, there's certain regulations where you can't buy shit from China and all this. You know, I get the security risk of that, but you could still open it up a lot more. You know, to the general consensus, unless you work in vaults and whatever, all these things that where all the secret squirrel shit goes on or whatever. Yes, that I think should be regulated heavily. But when you're just working like as a fucking cop doing reports, who gives a shit? Who really gives a fuck? 90% of the people have a cell phone in their fucking pocket and they're getting tracked.
Oh yeah, dude.
By Meta, like by U.S. companies.
By multiple.
Much less our advertisers.
And your information's being sold, no matter what they fucking tell you.
Like, why can't we just boost our own local economy where we are at? Like, I know naturally it happens because you've got people there, they're spending money, but like when it comes to buying shit that we need, plus it's why do I gotta wait a month and a half to get my shit when I could just literally go get it right outside the gate for pennies on the dollar? And it's the same brand, same model, same everything.
Oh, I know. Yeah. You need to buy like a monitor or a television set for training or something like that, right?
Yep.
You're gonna pay 3 times more than what you could get it for at like Walmart or fucking Best Buy even. Like,
Yep.
It's, you know, you get let's say you want to order like a 55-inch or a 65-inch smart board screen, right? It costs $2,500 probably. You're gonna pay $8,000 for that.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't understand how like each individual military installation can't work. Like I used to do buying for the school. Like I would go to Home Depot and buy wood and stuff for theater projects that we were working on, and they would just give us a tax code, like a tax exempt code that we would pay for. Why can't y'all do that? Like military bases, just go to fucking Walmart, buy a monitor, give them the tax code for it to be tax free.
So there are certain things you can buy with a government purchase card, right?
Yep.
It doesn't include, there's a lot of things you cannot because it's just something you can't, but there's small things you can purchase with those.
It's a
There,
bureaucracy, basically.
I'm telling you, there are a lot of fucking rules because I ran our freaking our budget, and I had the government purchase card guys under me and all that, and it was just like, holy shit! Like we got slapped in the pee-pee pretty fucking hard because we absolutely needed some fucking parts for a boat.
Mm-hmm.
Or whatever, and they didn't fit. There was not one form. There was one form that was not filled out. And I'm like, how many fucking government installations, like military installations, have fucking boats outside of the fucking Coast Guard that I can work on, like in my office that I can work on? You know, like it's for a game warden section. It's an outboard motor. It's a mud motor. And it's like, and we got slapped. And I'm like, look, tell me where else I could buy this shit, because I even pulled it up online. You know, but yes, you can go buy, and there are we each have a tax exempt letter that we got to give to the company.
Yeah.
They got to fill out some paperwork, you know, and a lot of them are like, fuck you, we don't want to deal with it because we don't want to have to go through all the fuck paperwork. You know, if they just made it easy and I can go swipe my fucking card, as long as I make sure that it's not electronic to where it can be tracked and going inside of a secure area, who gives a shit?
Bro.
Okay, that part does make sense of anything electronic that could just potentially be tracked.
You want to know how much Canada in 2022 tariffed us for fucking poultry? 51.5. I think that's,
and they're scared. They're fucking bitching about like a 25%
applied tariff.
Oh, well, that's what happens.
Frozen, other frozen, 2.25%. Meat of bovine animals, carcasses, half carcasses, fresh or chilled, 13.25. Other, United States, other, 183.35 or 179.15 applied tariff. That's just a category of other. Let's see.
And there's no clue what other is.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell. I think this is like food, maybe. Other. Let's see.
This is why we don't have Tim Hortons, apparently.
Oh, there is. I found a Tim Hortons here in Houston.
So look up World Integrated Trade Solution, and you can see how much if you look at like just Canada and US, and now you can see what it is they were paying in tariffs for products coming from Canada to the United States.
What am I looking for?
On it. I just need to know where to go.
I think you can look up trade stats by country, maybe.
Okay, yep. Where's Canada?
Where's
Where's Canada?
Let's see, Canada. There should be a imports, exports.
Canada tariff schedule?
Maybe that's it, yeah. Tariff imposed by Canada on medical products. Let's see.
Okay, the
United
number one
States.
export is for us is oil and gas. What's their tariff on that?
Ours
There.
or theirs?
Their tariff on American oil and gas.
Is this what you're looking at, Skip?
It's a chart. Yeah. Okay, so now look. What is that? Canada to United States tariffs. So most favored nation tariff and applied tariff. So applied tariff of, what does that say? Fowls of the species Gallus domesticus, 79.33.
Yep.
That's 22 though.
Yeah,
That's
it doesn't go.
25.
Well, maybe it'll be higher somewhere else. It only shows 22, but I'm trying to find year if it's updated in the current year.
Well, this one it says year 2022.
Maybe that's
at
what
the
it
top.
still is when it was put in
so
place.
there might be.
It's all 2022.
Yeah, this looks like food products or seafood.
Yeah, so you could, so there, hold on.
So you can look at all products.
Minerals, fuels. Oh wait, what year do we have here?
Yeah,
Oh, it only goes 22.
Pretty much it only shows 22. But do you think it's much different?
Let's see.
Probably not. It's probably actually higher now.
Probably. Who knows? There's all kinds of shit.
You can change the year right there. Does it change?
No, it doesn't.
The highest
This
it
is
goes
just-
is 22.
Oh, yeah, 22.
Oh, okay. I wonder if there's another website that has it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I bet there is. But in any case, like, we all pay, every country's paying tariffs to all other countries. It depends on what they're doing it on.
Yeah. And how much it affects, really, too, is the biggest one.
And are we paying more importing things from Canada than they're importing from us? I'm pretty sure we sell more shit to them than we buy from them.
Probably.
I'd be willing to bet, just based on our population. So if it gets harder to buy stuff from Canada and they got to go elsewhere to find it, then Canada's economy is gonna take a fat hit. Anyway, okay, we covered tariffs.
Yep.
Nobody knows still, but they're actually not as bad as what people think they are, and they only look at the negative consequence, and they just fucking dwell on it, and that's what dick they ride the whole time on the internet is the consequences.
Yeah, they just listen to what other people say that aren't educated.
They have no idea what it actually means, but like it's to find the best price. Many times it forces it. Sometimes it can cause a trade war. Yes. But we have so much economic power in the world that people are just they're gonna either bow or they're not gonna sell shit to us. That's what's gonna happen. You know, bend the knee or fucking sell it to somebody else. You know?
Yep.
But I'm worried in the long run that, these countries that are going to say, fuck off, we're not going to buy American oil and gas, will go and buy Russian. And we're just going to prop up Russia.
We just sell it to ourselves like we always have. Yeah.
Which means that we're not cutting into or giving up our own supply to other fucking countries, which means we can last a little longer.
Yeah. Like, tell me why we export energy, like fuel, oil, gas, that kind of shit to Canada, and they export it back to us.
Yeah.
at almost an even rate. In fact, I think we send them a little bit more now. They used to send us a larger portion of what we sent them, which is still a very small fraction. But why? Why don't we use ours and they just use theirs? Well, because it benefits each country. That's why.
Well, the northeast and northwest, I'm not sure about like Michigan and anything in the center. But y'all are on the same grid with Canada.
What do you mean same grid? Are you saying just divided into areas?
Yeah.
Like grid? I don't know if grid's the right. There isn't very much energy that comes from Canada that supplies the U.S. Maybe like 15%, but we can supply that to ourselves. We can make up that difference.
All right, here you go. I'll show you a meaning.
You're talking about that map that splits everything vertically down lines down the North America.
No, it's just what energy companies, I guess, that are running it.
I don't know. Mine's not a Canadian company, and I'm only 80 miles from the border. Western Interconnection. Okay, I got what you're saying. What is this?
So,
from?
like, what they're saying is, if they do cut off the power to America, it would only affect these three.
Yeah, in a fractional
only the
amount.
north. Yeah,
because these places supply their own energy. There's an energy company here. In fact, there's a refinery right near me. So, like, I don't know what if we stop getting anything from Canada, what that would actually do for at least where I'm at. I think we send more out than we receive right now. So it's coming out of the United States into these areas into Canada, then we're sending more than we're receiving. So I don't know.
and I did learn this. I thought all of Texas was on the same electrical grid, but evidently, there's parts that aren't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looks like it's broken up a little bit into a lot of states. Kind of goes in and out of them. Same with like Florida. Huh. Interesting map. I'll have to take a look at that. I'm going to dig into that a little more because I'm curious. I don't think the impact's going to be as massive as people think it is because a very small percentage of our GDP is from
Here's
trade
the grid
with Canada. Yeah. Grids. What is this from? Is this somebody's made up map or is it like
I know.
dry
Energy knowledge base.
Made
like
up map?
So like an org? What is it?
All right.
What is the... Yeah.
Electricity interconnectors are high voltage land and subsea cables that connect electricity systems of neighboring countries. They enable surplus clean energy to be traded and shared between countries and help manage surges in demand in both countries.
Yeah.
That's what that map was all about.
Ah, okay. That's just saying these are the areas that move things back and forth in those events. That free trade
it's
energy to help with like excessive use or underuse or something like that.
So that like Western grid or whatever, all the high voltage are shared among all of that.
Uh-huh.
But that does not necessarily mean that if you shut one down, it all goes down.
No. It just means it separates the trade between the two countries somewhere.
Yeah, and they can share the loads, so if like one is overloaded, they can literally shove that load off to a different area.
Yeah.
So they don't have like a massive fucking issue.
I'm going to dig into that more. I'm curious.
Yeah.
Anyway. You guys want to wrap it up?
Yeah, I got it.
All right.
Yep.
All right. Shit. See you later.
I gotta go take care of my neighbor's dog.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.